What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to another Star Savior video. I say welcome back, but this is our first one, hopefully of many. Not sponsored, guys. Just been waiting for this game for a very long time. We wrapped up day one, and I have a lot of info to share with you guys. So this video is gonna kind of go over a few things. Number one, we'll talk about the rerolls, what you should look for. Not gonna go super in depth on that because there's a million guides out there, Excel sheets, some very good stuff. But I can give you guys my quick tips, what I got. After that, I want to talk about what you need to make sure you're doing on a daily basis. Dailies are resetting by the time you watch this, so if you guys are re-rolling, try to get that wrapped up so that way at least you're not 2 days behind instead of just one. Not the biggest deal. But I also want to talk about, tips and tricks I picked up just from the first day to kind of help you guys elevate and at least get the best progress you can starting out early. Things like the journey system I know can be overwhelming if you never played Uma Musume. If you came into this game thinking it's a typical turn-based PvP, there are some other elements you need to be aware of. So we'll kind of cover that briefly and break it all down. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get to it. All right, guys, let's break down the reroll process real quick. Once again, I'm not going to go super in depth. There's a million guides out there, but I'll give you my super fast TLDR take on this. Essentially, you're going to go skip through the entire game when you first start up. If you're on your phone or emulator, I believe you can just log out to restart your reroll process if you need to do more than one attempt. If you are on the Steam version like me, there was a bug earlier that didn't let you restart a reroll, but they have fixed that. You have to go into the, let me see here. You'll have to go into your settings, the account management, then you just click reset server count. It'll have you type something and then you can restart again. Very easy. The reroll process takes like 7 to 10 minutes, very fast. You guys are on emulator, you can do multiple instances, but I didn't need to do that. It's really quick. Long story short, we're going to want to try to get as many copies of Ashera as possible. So you're going to go 5 banners down. I know there's a lot here, guys. That's one of the biggest gripes, I think, negatives, I would say, for early Star Savior. I'm loving the game, but there is a lot to look at, especially if you're not used to gacha games, okay? So this is the banner you're going to want to look at. These are the collab characters up there. There's some paid banners down here, and then there's some standard banners. But you're going to get to the point where you skip through the tutorial. You're going to get enough for 50 summons or 5 multis, and you're going to claim all the currency. Let me show you guys here. In case somehow you didn't watch a guide, you're going to claim that through the, I believe it's called the mission tab. Okay, just claim everything here in the mission tab. When you finish that tutorial, you should have enough for 5 multis on the premium summon banner, which I was showing you guys, and enough for 1 multi on the regular banner. Okay. And our main goal, like I said, is to try to get as many Asheras as possible. And the reason is because she is a support style unit and she is very future proof, at least according to Korea. One of the most powerful dupe effects and just a very strong character, I believe, in most aspects of the game. So everybody recommends you try to get as many copies of her. Now remember, this is a hero collector style game. If you're not planning to play competitive or super sweaty min-max, go for whoever looks good. But if you're trying to get the most bang for your buck on a reroll and not have to spend money later down the line, more copies of this character will help you out in the long run. Okay? I can show you guys her dupes and all that in a second here, but let me show you guys the standard banner after that. You're going to have 1 multi on the standard Savior observation as well. And then of course you get a lot more free currency as you progress through the missions by imprinting, by just playing the game, events, all that good stuff, right? And be aware, you can get, the rates are lower, but you can get a lot of the great characters as well, like Ashera Waltz as well here on the regular standard banner. So the reason we want to get multiple copies and everyone recommends Ashera, the Waltz version, is because if you guys look here in her limit breaks, let me show y'all real quick. Her initial dupe, if you guys can see, her passive is just 5% HP. However, once you get a single extra copy, look how much we get in on top of that. So for those reasons, the fact that she's like a support healer compared to her counterpart, I think means a lot of players expect her to be good in the long run. She's very strong in like all aspects of the game. So if you want to min-max, I think this is the character to go for. At least 2 copies. Any more is a huge bonus. I think a lot of players that are playing competitive are going to try to get max dupes, 4 copies. Any copies after that will give bonus stats, but not too much after. So no reason really to chase unless you are a Giga Whale. So get at least 2 copies of Ashera if y'all can. And then here's some bonus kickers if you want to go even the extra mile, or characters that you just pull you might think are good. I know Bunny Girl Charlotte, one of the premier DPS characters out right now. Emily is the other like T0 character a lot of people say is super good. Just be aware, guys, Hilda, the collab unit, is also a knight. tank, so I don't know if they're going to compete for a spot. I don't know if we need 2 knights, and also Hilda is too new to really say how powerful she'll end up being. But for now, Emily is very, very strong if you do end up getting her. Characters like Lacey are strong, but be aware that you do get a free selector the minute you create your account. Just find it in the event tab, guys, if you haven't claimed it already. And I highly recommend you just pick up Lacey. So I'm going to assume every character or every player is going to want her or have her on her account. And then if you want PvP units, I know characters like Elisa, who else? Sarah, and Luna are strong PvP units if you want to go that route. I heard as well Muriel is pretty good as well, but I think we have less info on that. I don't know if it's because she's newer. But if you go for anything like Bunny Girl Charlotte, Emily, I think Bunny Girl Claire is also a standout. I think you'll be solid. Just make sure you get those 2 copies of the initial Ashera Waltz for that dupe effect. Now let me show you guys what I settled on here. And of course, I do spend on these kind of games. Also, my chat today was very generous. Shout out to Walu. So we will be spending a bit. I bought the $15 selector that's going to let us get another copy of Ashera. I will be going for, 3 stars or 4 total copies. But in case you guys aren't wailing, or maybe you only get 1 copy, I want to show you guys something in the event tab real quick. There is a lot of events and a lot of things to click, a lot of red exclamation. There's so much in this game, it can get a little overwhelming. But let me show you guys real fast. We're going to scroll up from here. What section was it in? Let's see if we can find it together, guys. Here, the Star Savior update celebration mission. Make sure you guys do this every day if you can. I'll have a little daily checklist for y'all, but we'll cover that in just a second right here. But if you guys haven't seen this, this is like a slate from Epic 7 or a free dupe if you've played any other type of game. And so this way we can get a limit break onto our Ashera if we want. Let's see, we only have 1 copy. You can get her to 2 copies to get that super big dupe. Or you can get this to, like I'm going to be doing, to try to get from 2 stars all the way up to 4 stars. Just be aware that we will be getting this in around a week, depending on how often y'all are playing. But this is a free thing they're giving us, which is super, super nice to have. Other than that, though, I just settled for a 2 copy start of Ashera. I didn't really want to reroll all day. And we did luck out, and I got Bunny Girl Charlotte. I ended up getting a lot of copies of Tanya and Elisa as well, but these aren't like top tier units for just progression. I'm probably going to try to pick up a Hilda since I didn't get Emily, and then my team will be something like Ashera, Hilda, Charlotte, and then what's my last one here? Probably Lacey, right? Lacey is the other one you guys will all get from your selector. Next up, let's cover some tips and tricks that I learned from day 1, and then we'll end near the end of the video. I'll talk about that daily checklist. That way you guys can know what to do on a daily basis and not miss out on any potential rewards and really big like milestone rewards like those selectors, like that dupe thing I just showed y'all. Okay, so first things first, a lot of y'all are gonna jump into this thinking it's a turn-based PvP game. Essentially, though, there are 2 major differences. Number 1, there are some idle elements. So think of games like Nikke, AFK Journey. Essentially, some of your currency, your progression materials will be time gated via like an idle system. We can talk about that a little bit later. And number 2 is there is an Uma Musume style training system. If you never played the horse game, Uma, there is a thing in this Star Sailor game called Journey, and it's very important. It can be super overwhelming if you never played Uma Musume, so I'm going to break it down, at least give you all the super basics. The main thing I want y'all to take away, though, is don't get super overwhelmed, but you do need to do this early on for progression because it'll give you some early stat boost to help you just get, going in the game. And then later, once you learn it a little better, you can really min-max, come back to this once you are more versed. But you're going to want to jump into this at least 1 time and clear it, and it is pretty time consuming, guys. I think 1 run can take you anywhere from 15 to 20 plus minutes. So set aside some time. It does take a minute, especially if you don't know what you're doing. But you're going to jump into it. You're going to use these tickets or whatever they give you. And we're going to want to select a character. Your first character, guys, just pick whoever you want. Long story short, this is going to give you some bonus stats. So attackers, make sure you pick the attack, the strength stat. That's going to correspond to training. You'll know what I'm talking about once you jump into it. Healers that scale off health. Supports typically want health scaling. So if you're going to pick Ashera as your first one, make sure you give her some health instead of like attack. Okay, but that's just the general rule of thumb. There are guides out there will tell you what specifically to go for. But from what I saw, there's only like 1 defense scaler. Everyone else wants attack. And then there's a few characters like the supports that want health. So it's pretty simple in that regard. But let's take a character that I haven't trained yet, like Elisa here. and I want to show you all why you need to clear this at least once. So essentially this first section, guys, if you just click auto equip, it's going to give me 2 characters that I already ran with. And essentially in Uma Musume, these are like your parent system. It's like a horse breeding game. I don't know what they call it in this game, but just think of it like that. It's going to take your 2 previous runs, probably your 2 best runs previously, and that'll, if you guys can see here, give you some bonus stats. Until you get this started, don't worry about it. Just choose whatever. If there's nothing, just skip it. Once you start getting characters that have finished, it's done. And you don't need to do 20-minute runs every time. That's what I want to show y'all here. Once I click that confirm button, these are the, what do they call these again? Let's see if it says here. Oh man, guys, what's the name for these cards? I should know this, but I'm still learning. Anyways, these are very important, but this is where these come to effect. When you equip these, they give you bonus training or bonus effects that essentially will just give you stronger stats. So think of this as like a separate roguelike mode that will give you a permanent stat boost, but it only you can only equip one of these save files at a time. So if you played Chaos Zero Nightmare, think of it like a save data. If you didn't play that, think of it like it's like a one-time run, roguelike run that'll give you a stat boost. And every run is different because there's events, there's RNG. If you know how to min-max and game the system, you can get more stats. This is how you can get like bonus speed, for example. But essentially, it boils down to what I was saying earlier. If you're an attacker, you want to focus on getting like strength. If you are a support unit, usually vitality, especially if you are HP scaling. But just click auto equip, guys. There will be better stuff you can get. Like the Lacey card is super good. I think the Freya card very good. I haven't chosen those for my selector yet. But if you did pay some whale money, there are some selectors and there are some random, I think just random boxes as well, so you guys might luck out and get something good. But otherwise, just auto equip it and just start playing. The reason I want y'all to just get a 1 run done is because once you finish 1 run, you can do this auto journey for every other character, and this is huge because like I said, right, so this is a healer. We most likely want health on her. If you want a core, I think there's an Excel sheet from a Korean player that is very, very highly regarded. Y'all can check it out. He has a cheat sheet to show you every single stat. But essentially, just use the rule of thumb I said. Supports want health, attackers want strength. I think there's only 1 defense scaler. There are a few attackers that want a little bit of effectiveness focus, but we can always min-max that later down the line once we understand this better. I don't even know what the super sensory training stuff is yet, but just get this done. That way you can get some stats while you're progressing. So I'm going to go for vitality. And then I think after that, maybe some endurance and strength, right? But make sure that the main stat you choose, guys, is the highest priority. That way the AI knows what to do. You click start journey. Remember, this is your second run. The first run you will have to do manual. But just do your training. You'll figure it out. And even if you don't, just get through it. You always have time to do it later. But the reason I want y'all to do this now, because like I keep telling y'all, you get some bonus stats for while you're progressing and doing all the other events and stuff in the game. But this is done super quick. We can save ourselves 20 minutes. And the game will give us like an automated, not the best, but it does it for us in a super timely manner. And we get those bonus stats. Mainly in vitality. We got an A+ in vitality, so not bad. And then here's somewhere the RNG comes into effect. There's things like speed. Speed could end up being extremely powerful for a lot of characters, especially in PvP. We didn't get it here, so we're just gonna go for some HP, sense of life, and use up all the points you get. This is bonus stats at the end. So journey is ended, guys. We've settled that, and just do that for all the characters that you are using your main party. Just get it done. I know it's overwhelming, but this will help you a lot in progression. By the way, last thing, guys, in the equipment or your stats section, this is where you're going to equip those one-time runs, like I said. And then later on, right, we're going to min-max that, try to get like higher scores from C to B to A, and try to optimize how much bonus stats we get. But that's the long and short of it. Just equip that. This is why I want y'all to do it at least once, that we get all of these bonus stats just by, auto-completing after your first run. Okay, next thing up. And the last part of this video, let's cover the daily checklist real quick. There's a lot to do, but I want to kind of shotgun this. Let me hide myself so I'm not blocking. Essentially, there's a lot of stuff you want to do on a daily basis. That includes just your normal dailies. That's obvious. And by the way, there is a timer in there to tell you when things reset. For me, it's at 2 p.m. Central Time. That is 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Next up, there's daily arenas. This is your PvP. I believe you get 6 tickets a day and you can skip. So this is super quick. 3 flashpoints, which will give you some Arcana materials. Paths, Etch, and Starlight. This is in the event section, and there's a shop with a lot of goodies, so don't miss out on that, guys. There are 3 event challenges in the counter side. The Vestige of Corruption. These are everything I list here are things you can do every single day to get either bonus currency or to progress in a daily manner because you get a certain amount of tickets. Interstellar Corridor. This one, guys, is very important. You can miss it. Interstellar Corridor is like the long... I can just show you guys that one real quick here. You go to Candle Square, and you'll see here in the Interstellar Corridor, this is like an Abyss Tower kind of section where you have unlimited time to complete. However, you guys miss it down here, there is like an element mono section that will give you some good stuff, and this one will reset every day. So make sure you guys do this if you can every single day. That way, you know, you stay on curve with the rest of the player base if possible. After that, guys, we have the guild boss. So make sure you guys join a guild. And a quick shout out, we already have 2 guilds. Stop by my streams if you want, and just hit us up. We probably have space if you are, you know, if you join up soon. Daily resource tickets. You have these, there's 3 of each. Those will give things like skill level up materials. Make sure you do those every single day. There's a dispatch, right? Just send out your 2 teams, get some free stuff. Daily shop crystals. That's just if you go into the shop section, you can get some free crystals, even as a, you know, free to play player. In the Cube Palace, which I was just showing you guys, there's another section here in the Interstellar Corridor. And if I'm going really quick, guys, don't worry about it. You can always refer back, just understand all the systems I'm saying, so you guys can get a grasp of how many things there are to do on a daily basis. But here's another thing for skill enhancement materials, I believe. Going to the Cube Palace, this is also, if you guys can see, every time you click one of these materials, it'll tell you when it resets. But as y'all can see, you know, if you do it every single day, you'll be a little bit ahead than people that don't. There is Orbital Link, and this is the event section. You'll see a bingo board. It shows, I believe, Hilda on there. There are daily battle pass missions. Even if you don't buy the battle pass, guys, there are dailies that you should do to get some free stuff. NOAA funding is the idle section, which I want to show y'all real quick here. And if anyone has some extra info for me, I'm not sure yet, guys, for free to plays how much you should be refreshing. So for now, I would say err on the side of caution. It'll depend on like what type of gamer you are, if you are super competitive. But let me see, how do I find that from this section? Either way, I know where to find it from here. We want to go to the idle section. So if I want to upgrade Ashera, for example, you need these purple currencies. You can see where to get, and we can go to the NOAA funding section. And in this area, guys, you'll see like, after amount of time, you can claim those, especially these purple starlight essences. And then here's where I was talking about where there's emergency support. You get 1 free per day. Make sure you claim that. And then every time you claim this, I'll just do it for you guys here. You have a scaling up system that, you know, that'll give you it'll give you 2 hours worth of rewards. If you haven't played an idle game before, this is very common. And it'll scale up in the amount of crystals, which are very important because that's how you also summon for, you know, your characters, for example. So be careful on using this too much. Maybe as free to plays, don't pull any besides the first one, or not even the first one, if you want to primarily focus on characters. And then we'll hopefully figure out how much is efficient for free to plays if you want to play like competitive. But other than that, let's see, where else are we on the list? Last things, clear the daily event missions. And that's just kind of what I was talking about earlier. So if we open up the event mission tab here, I can go over the stuff we talked about. Here's the past Eshin Starlight, which I talked about. There are some daily missions you can do here. And then in the event shop, I mentioned there are gems, there are summons. Do not miss out on this, guys. What else is the other ones? Staying on curve is important to get like your dupes on day 7. There are some also really good stuff here like selectors. Here's the dupe thing I talked about. Day 7 here, I believe, or endless corridor. This can kind of be complete at your own pace, but if you guys can see here, there are stuff for like the individual elements. And then yeah, just take a look at here. Not all of them have daily missions to do, but some of them are completed on a daily basis. So make sure you take advantage of those when you can. There is a lot to it. Daily check-ins, all of that stuff. The bingo board, the connect a dot board, I should say, somewhere in here as well. Let's see if I can find that. Last thing we'll talk about, is it this one here? I believe vestige of control. Orbital link. This is the thing I talked about where there's a daily and there's like a bingo board. Essentially, just check out all of that stuff. If you want to look at the notepad, I kind of wrote down most of the stuff that you can do on a daily basis so you don't miss out on anything. And remember, every day there will be a reset in the afternoon if you're in the States. Otherwise, check with the mission tab, and you'll see when your stuff resets. Don't get overwhelmed. Enjoy the game. I think this game is super promising. And stop by the live streams if you want to hang and ask me any questions or join a guild. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm going to make a ton of content on Star Savior, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.